Dr. Anthony Fauci is going to testify today in front of House lawmakers on his handling of the pandemic, and it comes as new reports accuse Fauci of making up COVID policies like social distancing, and also after one of his advisors testified to finding ways to avoid those pesky FOIA requests.
Wow. New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis is on the Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic. She will be in the hearing with Dr. Fauci today, but before that, she joins us now. Congresswoman, good morning to you. Tell us where this is going, this hearing today, and what our expectations should be here.
Well, we're uncovering a lot of discrepancies between what Dr. Fauci has told the committee and what his senior advisor and other staff members at NIH have told the committee. It's trying to get to the bottom of the accountability. Who is lying to this committee? Who's committing perjury? Who is responsible for the destruction of government records? Whose idea was it to use a Gmail, personal Gmail, instead of using government email to avoid freedom of information laws? That's what we're trying to uncover here, but also get down to the science component, right? We were told to follow the science. Now we find out that 6 feet apart was just a number they pulled out of thin air. Dr. Fauci and his scientists made hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties from the various pharmaceutical companies. Were mandates given particularly so they can enrich themselves? That's the other thing I would like to know. And then also, who's signing off on all this money, this taxpayer money that was going to EcoHealth, that ended up in the Wuhan lab? It was Dr. Fauci that signs off on that, and animal testing that's happening right here in the United States that could be considered gain of function, right? These horrific tests that they're doing on beagle puppies, on poor piglets. And the reality is he's trying to tell us now that he didn't know anything about a lot of this stuff, that he just signed off the paperwork. So where's the accountability if the buck stops with you, the director of NIAID?
Yeah, to me, to your point, Congresswoman, the thing that stood out the most is this overt effort to bypass the Freedom of Information Act laws that exist to give us, the American people, information. And his right-hand man there, Dr. David Morins, had emails leaked stating, quote, "I learned from our FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear." And another email suggesting that someone contact Fauci through a secret back channel. Now, Morins, during his testimony, was careful to avoid implicating Fauci. But do you believe Fauci knew that this evasion of FOIA was going on right under his nose?
Absolutely. And I think that he, too, also used personal communication to avoid FOIA requests. And that is what we've actually asked him to provide, those personal emails and text messages, so we can continue our investigation. But it seems clear that the people at NIH, including Dr. Fauci, did not want the public to know what was going on, and that there was a lack of transparency. And the other thing that's interesting is Dr. Fauci went out of his way to suppress the lab leak theory. Remember, they tried to call it a conspiracy theory, a bunch of scientists that said that they thought it was coming from the lab.
Oh, looks like her shot froze there, but oh no, we have her back.
Natural origin in a paper. How did they change their mind in three days?
It's a great question.
So he suppressed it.
It's a great question, Congresswoman, and we will be watching. This is public, so we will, I'm sure, be airing this testimony as it happens. It's a big story and something that we should still care about, although the public attention is off of COVID. Really quickly, about 15 seconds to you in the time we have remaining. Why should people still care about this story?
Well, because number one, there needs to be accountability if the public was not told the truth, if there was destruction of records, right? If there was to evade the public, to evade transparency, that's number one. Yeah. And if there was a conspiracy, who knows, to basically suppress the lab leak theory, the public needs to know. Yeah. How do we prevent the next? How do we prevent the next pandemic if we don't know how this one was created?
Right. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, thank you so much for joining us. Facts and Friends starts right now.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.